Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month. So, on the last Let's Play, I'm not sure if it was because I just kind of sucked at reading or if that scene took just quite a while, but we basically just went to the hotel, got our keys, and then Cliff came and saw us because we were Sam, and he had a bit of a fight with Jeb because he was displeased with how things went on the trek here, and because we lost time and were attacked and yada yada yada, which, I guess he's a man of science. I mean, I'm a man of science, but then it's like, there's a monster, and you lost time for no reason. I think that's a bit beyond Jeb's capabilities. So, Jeb lost relationship. No, wait, Cliff lost relationship with Jeb. Sad. Cliff will remember that. I mean, Jeb will remember that. And, yeah. We're still keeping with trying to get out of town. Trying to find somebody that will, come with us somewhere else. Because we're skipping. Anyways, reset my face actually. And begin. Oh, wait, the eyes up. There we go. I asked directions to a few people wandering outside, only met with avoidant gazes, head shakes, and quick words in a language I don't understand. A raccoon points me in one direction, where I turn into a trading post. Run into a trading post. The woman running it isn't much help, stating that the inn is the only place travelers come and go and tend to be during their time here. Scene change again. Or not really. I make my way around the boundaries of the reservation at least twice. This building actually reminds me of some of the places that we'd see in West Texas. Mostly like historical places. It's getting dark by now. Men with guns leer at me from the wooden outposts about 6 feet into the air. I'm strange to them, no doubt, but they don't pay me much mind for long. While the south side is gated in an arc of wooden posts, the north is completely unguarded. It doesn't take me long to see why. The reservation is built upon a precipice, and its steep canyon is too steep to climb with ease, considering the rapids running below it. There's an unguarded post with a flimsy wooden gate to the west, post before a thick tree line. I walk past the post, unsure if it's still a part of the settlement's boundaries or not. The woods here is thick with pine trees, and the sounds of rapids are louder. I should go back. But I stop when I hear drums. They're steady, monotone beats. I see movement between the trees and see a procession of mostly adult Mesete walking in a row with a man in the front shaking a rattle. But there's also two others I recognize. There's Yiska, the bear from the trip, hitting a drum. So does Yiska? I mean, Yiska sounds like Russian. Also, he's a bear, but he's also Meseta. And then there's Cliff. He's walking behind them, silent and focused, stepping to the sound of the instrument, as the man in front of them all chants, beating the top of the drum. It looks like they're doing something informal, but they're carrying bags of stuff, and the chanting and the rattling seem to imply otherwise. I jump when I hear another drum. This beat is coming from behind me. I see Sela standing at the well, looking down to hit the drum with the palm of his hands. He looks up and stops playing when he notices me looking back. What's going on? His eyes narrow, and he goes back to beating the drum. A disagreement is playing out. Nothing to concern yourself with. He let out a string of chants, then started to play the drum again. Another group of men passed by, some carrying pillows. Another, a paper lamp with wooden siding that had leaves whittled out of it. Where are they taking all that stuff? They're burying Sheila's things. Who? He was our other companion. On the hunting trip. Oh, the guy that just kind of disappeared because the thing took him off? I think back and remember that they had mentioned traveling with another person. Is this a funeral? Not in your Christian sense, no. We bury the lost, but we don't hold funerals. Sheila's body is something we could never recover. Could his family reuse his things? We couldn't. I don't see the point of burying them. If they aren't with the dead, then he might come looking for them. You mean like a ghost? I mean exactly a ghost. I just ain't ever heard of a ghost coming back to get his things. It's kind of funny being like, thinking of ghosts being like, yeah, I just needed my lamp and stuff. Me, I guess it would be like my mattress, my computer, chair. I guess that'd be pretty much it. People pass things they use all the time. I mean, I got a bunch of things in my room, but it's still like, things I'm more intimate with. Never really saw one come back for the coat racks or griddles. Perhaps that is because your culture surrounds you with tortured spirits so often that you've lost the ability to notice them, or how they make you ill. I chuff. Ill in what sense? In spirit and body. You people have a bad relationship with the air and soil. I stopped going to church because people kept guilting me there, too. Do not compare my people to your fantasies of world molded in your image. I didn't mean offense. I'm just struggling to think of what makes somebody like you so much different from the preacher who would always tell me to pray more and do better in the eyes of the Lord. The difference is that your people bend the world to your own image, and do be like that sometimes. I'd appreciate it if you stopped saying your people. I don't exactly claim any of this. A shadow of doubt crossed the Kit Fox's face. Then what exactly do you claim? What are your roots? I stop and think for a bit. I guess I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? My parents don't know where we were from. If my grandparents knew, they never told. We follow the law and religion of our township, but that place and my family is practically dead to me. Yet you still claim Christendom without its congregations? I guess. So you choose to bear the weight of the movement without knowing the impact on others. You stumble in the dark then. Hardly surprising. I still don't see what makes your faith so much better or different from mine. That's apparent. Our faith emphasizes the importance of noticing everybody's role in the balance of everything. Is that in the game or... I mean, my door's closed and everything, but okay. Reset my face. not establishing dominion. Yeah, religion, especially certain ones, try to establish dominion. It's the difference between speaking and listening. Or like seeing the way a river flows and taking the fish that you need from the current instead of building a dam to control where the fish must swim. What's wrong with building a dam? He twitches. There's nothing wrong with building a dam. It was just an analogy. Okay. This is stressing me out. His lip curls down. You got a lighter? He relaxes his face and looks away from me while he pulls something silver out of his pocket. Sure. I take out one of my cigarettes I've been holding on into my pocket and lean my head towards him. He flips it open deftly and retreats it almost immediately after the first spark and the first catch of burnt paper. Thanks. I wouldn't think that people would have lighters back then. I don't know, you'd think it would all just be matches at most. He doesn't answer, but he puts the lighter away. I inhale the smoke, hold it, then let it all out. Anyway, you're saying something about an argument? What is it about? I gesture in the direction of the marching procession. I thought this kind of stuff wasn't allowed here anyway. The clergy doesn't care much about what the older generation does. They know that we will be more cooperative if they let us practice, and they're letting time and dogma do the rest of the work. It do be like that. You seem a lot angrier than your friend. The bear in the distance hops as he beats his drum. Iska is not troubled by present or by the future. He lives happily that way. He is a very harmonious person. This is why he leads the first night of this blessing way. What's that? Mostly what it sounds like. But he would do better at times to recognize that we are surrounded by enemies and bad spirits. Like that spirit we encountered in the wood, who spilled blood. And the priest. And you, and the other strangers. I'm sorry I exist. Me too. But at least it's not your fault. I rub my temple. The enemy way is a different sort of practice. It keeps the dead away. The unnatural things that plague us. And does it work? Of course it works. Why is everybody so confident about these sort of things? Wouldn't everybody be doing these things if they worked? Then again, I've never needed this degree of spiritual protection before I came to Echo. Maybe just faith is something is enough to make a difference. Or maybe I just keep running into prideful individuals. Show me then. He glares at me a bit, then puts the drum beneath his arm. Not possible. But I can show you parts. He jerks his head in the direction of the woods. Into the woods. I follow him deeper until we come across a glade with another bonfire. Most of what I can show will not bear the same meaning or sentiment to an outsider, so you won't get much out of this. He starts beating his drum with one hand, then the other, in a steady beat. When warriors return to their families, there's always risk of bringing back ghosts with them. Then he stops again. The first reason why isn't possible in that the ceremony doesn't take place in one location or one night. It can take part in 9 nights alongside many different rituals. We paint the sand with dry pigment. We sing. We pray. And many bear the responsibility of moving the rattle as we make it from one site to another. It sounds time-consuming. The community loses much more of the time when we start to neglect this ritual. Sheila was a warrior. So are we. He's really unloading this all onto me. You know, that little Stoats fella rode all the way across the sea just to hear about stuff like this. He leers at me. Yes. So he can bring it back across the sea. I shrug. So he's a thief. Of what exactly? Of spirit and knowledge. So then, what about me? In truth, I'm telling you this because I do not think you have the capability to remember the information passed along. Huh. At least, not details that matter. I blink again. You know what? I think you're really rude. Or, I just understand how things work. The people who come here to study us don't want to make our lives better. They want to make us like them, or kill us. If not our forms, then our spirit. I do not have to be comfortable with that. Huh. What? Nothing. It's just... You look and sound a lot like somebody I know right now. Who? Do you know a Cynthia Solsi? For the first time, he looks genuinely curious. They are my cousins. Though the Ben Gay and the Scioli families have not interacted for a long time. None of them live here anymore. I know one in Echo. I knew Istad and Kelly. Now he's nodding. Cynthia was their daughter. That's what she was called here too? Her father converted to Christianity. Her mother did not. She traded in jewelry, and Cynthia helped her make this finery. This was a problem for the priests, because of the nature of this work. It is religious, and their power to barter in the community was great. But the day they left was very strange. It looks like he's trying hard to remember. Her father needed medicine, but nobody would disclose the nature of this ailment. I was told that the whole family packed up for Camp Rosa, and nobody had seen them since. Echo is the opposite direction, though. Have you been to Camp Rosa yourself? Several times. Is there a railroad? No, but Providence has one, and it's closer. Could you take me there? I don't have any business there. I'll pay you. How much? I have a banking check for $60. I could do this trip for $20 if you had something more material to offer up front. Boy, $60? Was this supposed to be in like 18 something? Oh, let me just quickly... Sorry, I just am curious, because $60 seems like a lot of money. Actually, maybe just type in the smoke room. I think it's like 1915. Inflation calculator, 1915. Bureau of Labor Statistics? Huh. Oops, 60. And was that 1915? Sorry, I have a thing for being like, oh, how much was that money back then? That's about $1,800, which is a lot of money. But still. Paper money is fine when we get to our destination. Isn't so good in the desert. Fair enough. Providence has a phone, right? So what? I could get you a phone call with Cynthia. What makes you think I'd want that? Don't you? You said she was family. He pauses. I do. But I'm also afraid of what I might find out if I do. That's an odd thing to say. Then again, family business is often odd. Yeah, he probably wouldn't want to find out that his family member is a prostitute. And more importantly, none of my business. I mean, she probably wouldn't be like, "Hi, so I work at a brothel." Because, is that enough to offer, or do I need to think of something else? Supply the food and the water, and I'll agree to this. Deal. I hold out my hand to him, and he grabs it. Man, he actually smiles. His grip is tight for a paw so small. It's almost painful. He lets me go when we hear something. What was that? Sounded like a whinny. There are pack of beasts nearby? Wait, are there? Yeah, there's a ranch outside the gate. We hear another whinny. Oh no, wait, that's just Jeb. Then it started bray and something wet. There's thrashing and galloping and slams into the wood. Do they normally make those sounds? You don't think. Don't seem the worst. Something probably snuck into the pen. We rely on these beasts for transport and food. If something's wrong, then we need to tell the rancher. This way. It's a lot darker in these parts of the woods. If I try, I can make out the shapes. There might be barns in the distance, but they look more like blobs to me. I felt the kit tug me by the cuff as he ducks, and I feel a board of a fence hit my stomach. Ugh. He makes a suction sound to me. Are I supposed to be out here? I can see through his face. Tell me he's rolling his eyes, or enough of his face. God, I can't read today. He scampers through the fence. I follow him mostly because I don't want to be by myself if somebody with a rifle comes across us. I stumble around, looking for the direction he went in. Here. Oh, there they are. He's leaning against something big. I think for a moment it must be a sleeping mule, but it doesn't look like it's breathing evenly. Cold wound. It wasn't embroidered enough to finish. Emboldered enough to finish? Oh, the thing? Why's that? Could be testing the boundaries of the herd. Could have been scared off, or injured itself. We look out the pen in the woods and count more than 50 dark figures waiting around. What we might have heard was one of the pack animals smelling the wound of another animal. So cold wound? Never heard of that before. Nothing to worry about then? I slag my shoulders, and feel my neck relax. Thank God there's nothing out there now, or here. Whatever it was must be gone. That's when I feel something touch me. It confuses me at first because it feels like the dainty sort of caress of a hand on my lower leg, except curls close to grip me. That's when I feel how truly large the palm is. I yell as I feel it yank me off my feet, slamming my back into the dirt. I open my eyes and see Sela staring at me with wide eyes, and rapidly becoming smaller. Something's dragging me. Oof. I can see stars and the trees sweep by as I realize the speed that I'm going. Rocks and roots scrape against my shirt, ripping through, some scraping the skin. I try to look forward to see what's dragging me, but I don't see anything, despite feeling that awful monster's claw clipping onto me with its nails. I think about how above the canyon the settlement is. I think about the chasm littered with bones, and that gets thinner and thinner the harder you're pulled. I don't understand what he meant by that, but I stop moving. I stand up, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere. There's no houses nearby, no people, and when I try to stand on my left leg, it hurts. It hurts real bad. And what's worse is I can hear something breathing. It feels like it wants me to walk. Wants me to try and make it back to town. There's nowhere to go, or to hide, but back in the direction that I came from. I can still see the trail that my body made, and I let out a yowl when I make my first step. My ankle's swelling. I'm gonna have to crawl. So I get to my knees and crawl and cry out again, feeling the stab in my leg. Then I pull myself forward. Tears roll down my cheeks as I scramble forward, careful not to let my left foot touch the ground. I feel the hot breath on my neck. A long, spongy tongue starts to lap at my neck. And then I hear the gunshot. It's gone, as if it were never there. And I see Sela run towards me, hooking his rifle on his back, grabbing me with these suspenders and pulling me in quick bursts. He looks right, then left, wide-eyed, almost frenzied, as he takes me back through the woods. It's hard to turn my head to look left or right. Sometimes I think I hear breathing again on the right. Sometimes on the left, or it's on the left. Sometimes it sounds like it's coming from the trees, or from multiple places at once. Sela doesn't stop dragging me. Use your legs if you can. My right's twisted. Then just the one. You're too heavy to drag. You have to move faster, or I'll have to drop you. Back through the gate. Back to his cabin. He slams the door and bolts the lock. He pulls me over to a rug on the ground. Show me your foot. I think with that scene change, that might be a good time to call it. Because, we got... Ooh, that felt kind of good. Tad less than 3 minutes, and that's a scene changing a bit. Woof. So, at least we got through more stuff during this Let's Play than the last one. That's going to be the end of this one also. So, please comment, because I like comments, things you like, dislike, tips, as always. If you like my YouTube and likes it grow, then please like, subscribe, and check out every step grown. Please remember to spay your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, you can go to their Patreon, where it's $3 a month. Yeah, for the news version, and help them. And until next time, on another Let's Play, me, the Spooky Wolf 6 of the Smoke Room. Ooh, spooky. So thanks and see ya.